Hi everybody, this is Gary Dean with Sentiment Timing, and this is our free weekly video report for Thursday, January 19th, 2017. I hope you guys had a chance to take a listen to the that little market conversation that I had with Woody yesterday. His computer froze and we had to pause the recording, so it is a little bit jumbled, and I apologize for that. But anyway, there's some great information, and if you did not get to listen to it, I definitely would take a listen to it. So let's get started. One of the things that Woody has mastered, and I've been following him since 2003, I think it was, is predicting when there's going to be volatility or sharp moves in the market, and he predicts these. I've seen him do it 6 months in advance, and which is absolutely insane because when you see something happen within weeks of him calling a top or a bottom, and that was 6 months before, you kind of blow your mind. But he has done this over and over, and why is it important? Because when you have a good idea that we have a sharp drop coming, you control your emotions because you can either position your portfolio for a drop. You can get out of your long positions. But the good part is that you actually have a very good idea when the low is coming, and you can buy, so you get double the gusto on the move. And most people get caught, they're long and they don't believe the actual drop until here. They panic, sell, and then they start buying back up here, and they're in the hole. And that's why so many, say, retail traders, lose so much money in the market, because they're not following what the professionals do. And the professionals, when you start seeing the markets get into this thrill, what they do is they start closing their long positions. When it's into the euphoria, they start building short positions. And when we get into the panic, into the capitulations here, they start unloading their short positions and then start buying down at the lows. And they repeat this cycle over and over. Now, what happens with the retail trader is they stay long, they panic and sell, and then when we get up into the excitement, they're buying again, so they're breaking even or losing money. And that's why it's so important knowing when to expect these moves. So let's take a look at the sentiment part here. And you can see where this is the Trump low here. And you can see this is the euphoria started coming. When did it come? When we took out the previous highs. So everybody panicked going into the Trump low here. As we can see, everybody was bearish on this market, but yet they got all excited once we took out the highs. So there's, they're in the hole where, yeah, they might be green a little bit now, but they're going to stay long. And then when they get the panic drop, guess what? The same thing is going to happen. But if you know when this is going to be taking place, you can position your portfolio. So you can see this almost lines up exactly with the sentiment readings here. Like once we started getting into these series of 90%, 98%, 92%, that is when the market started getting choppy and the high was made. So it's just something that, like I said, I'm not sure how anybody can go through this market the way as volatile as it's going to be without knowing and having this information. So I'm going to take a little piece of of what we put out today. And what Woody had said is, when I talked to Gary earlier in the year and looked at the overall pattern, he talked about two great declines in one great rally, and said they could even be 20% declines. He's re-looked at the patterns, and he doesn't want to necessarily put a number on the declines. So instead of sitting there and pinning to 20%, one might be 10%, one may be 20%, one may be 30, one may be 15. He's not willing to put that on, and that's fine, because if the S&P drops 10% from the current levels, it's down 260 points. If it drops 20%, it's down 520 points. So you can see he just doesn't want to put it. But he said that there's the first decline, which is it's going to begin shortly. We know the dates to keep an eye on, and it's most likely not going to be the 20%. So maybe it's going to be 6%, 7%, maybe 10%. But it's a kill zone. It's going to be a kill zone move, which means that everybody is going to get caught off guard. They're all going to be sitting here long, and then we're going to get these types of moves. These are your kill zone moves, and we just have sharp drops down there. So we have one pending, and it's going to be a buy the dip situation. So if you position yourselves, correctly on it, you're going to be able to know when the big drop is coming, but then be able to buy it again. And that's what I was showing you on here, where you can make 4 years worth of profits or points or percentage points, getting just half of this move and half of this move, because this I think was close to 400 S&P points. I mean, we don't, a lot of professional traders, don't get 400 S&P points in a in a couple of years at least. Let's just say the average benchmark gains per year is 8%. So if you get 400, you're up to close to 22%. So it's going to take them 3 years to get back to where you can make something in a matter of weeks. And it doesn't come around that often. That's the important part of this. So as Woody said, this one is going to be the first dip. It's most likely going to be by the dip. And there's going to be a nice rally that's going to be heading into, further into the year, that's going to be resolving into another 20% decline. So what does that mean? It means that volatility is here, and we're going to get these moves, which happened in years, is going to happen all in 1 year. And one of the things that he said that caught me, it made perfect sense is, just when we had Obama as president, it was pretty much a boring presidency. There wasn't a whole lot of, excitement around it, and the markets were boring. They were moved up by the Federal Reserves, and we just kind of went higher with some, panics here and there. Trump's a wild card. Nobody knows what to expect, so it's going to be dramatic, and we're going to get these moves a lot. And as long as you're in front of the move and on the right side of it, it's fantastic to trade. So one thing I want to show you is I'm gonna put one of the stock reports out tomorrow. But I told you that we have a professional analyst that's giving it. So this is the trades that he's given so far: the 3rd, the 4th, the 9th, 11th, 16th, and 18th. These are the stocks. This is what has been done. One's 3.5, 6.5. One is 11%, and he has one that's minus 3%. New algebra was just put out yesterday, so we haven't even really tracked that one yet. But overall, he's up 3.6% and 80% win rate. So, and that's just stocks. That's not options. That's nothing. But this is what we've been putting out. And I just had a conversation with him, and I said, listen, I'm like, the fact that we're looking for some type of reversal in the coming days, and he said, I'm one step ahead of you, because he's already looking at sectors that are going to move up as the indexes move down. And he said this has nothing to do with Woody. He goes, things that just popped out on his radar, and it has to do with commodities. So this is another great feature that we that's been going on, and hopefully people have been taking advantage of it. So with the daily chart, just our regular charts, bearish divergences had me warning not to chase the upside here. If we just take a look at the 60-minute chart, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this made a new high. So this could be the 5, or they're going to have another pop up to the 5 to the 2300. Makes no difference, because once this is done, this is where we're going to get the larger move to the downside. So I'm just waiting for that to happen, and if we start taking out support levels, I'll jump, build a short position, because I know there's a lot more points to the downside. If they pop it up, I'll just layer in shorts. But the one takeaway from this is that you don't want to be chasing the long side. So if you really want to know when to expect these turns, there's 3 specific dates that we have that our members know about. We have that $74.99 for the first month. Take advantage of it, because it's not really a matter of it running out. You're just going to be signing up, and the move has already happened. So with that, have a great night, and I'll talk to you guys next week.